I'm Macy Egland. The man accused of driving high and hitting a crossing guard is expected in court today. 30-year-old Joshua Alvarado of Queens is scheduled to be arraigned. Police say he hit the crossing guard yesterday morning near the Merrick LIRR station, leaving the 70-year-old in critical condition. A DOT worker was seriously hurt after being hit by an alleged drunk driver on the LIE in Holtzville last night. Police say it happened after Randolph Ackham responded to help with an overturned vehicle near exit 63. We're told the driver, Joseph Kalinowski, was charged with DWI. You can see Newsday's year-long investigative series looking at Long Island's dangerous roads on our website, newsday.com. Only in Newsday, the longtime principal at Wyandanch High School has been placed on leave. Now, the district did not give a reason why Paul Sibley's was put on leave. It has only said this is a personnel matter. Just last month, an audit found he improperly used money meant for a student club. Only in Newsday, Suffolk has an idea to ease East End traffic. More ferry service. The county is looking at the possibility of a Peconic Bay ferry system as a workaround to East End traffic jams. The study is expected to start late this year. Babylon Village has launched a facade improvement board. It will hand out grants to business owners so they can spruce up their buildings. That money can be used for things like installing new awnings and flower pots and power washing the property. Well, there is still time to show off your snowman skills and maybe even win a prize. Enter Newsday's Snowman Selfie Contest by snapping a pic of your best snow creation for a chance to win Amazon gift cards. Head to newsday.com/snowman. All right, let's talk about your Friday forecast. Really a good day for some snowman building, that's for sure. We've got a sunny start to the weekend, but it won't end that way. Possibly some flakes later on. Today, sunny skies, highs in the upper 30s to low 40s for most of the island. A little warm up for tomorrow. Look at this. Temps could reach the upper 40s in some spots. Woo! Then we've got a big change for Sunday, unfortunately. Scattered snow showers for the first part of the day, then temps in the teens at night. Right now, it's looking like a cold start for next work week, and we do have a few more chances for some wet weather Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Lead-contaminated water has been found in hundreds of schools across the island, and not just in water fountains. Tests discovered lead in kitchen faucets, ice machines, and classroom sinks, potentially harming children's health. Andrew Enger has more.
Like most parents, Liz Floormont keeps a close eye on what her daughter Aaliyah eats and drinks while she's at the William Buck School in Valley Stream. So she was surprised when she got a notice from the district a while ago about high lead levels in some of the school's water.
That's definitely concerning because obviously if the kids are drinking from the water fountains, we want to ensure that they're safe.
New York State requires school districts to test for lead in water every 3 years. If lead above the state standard is discovered, the district must notify the state health department and the public. The failing faucets must be removed from service or fixed. But just how many water fixtures were found to be contaminated? A Newsday examination showed discrepancies between state records and school records. School records show that between 2023 and 2025, nearly 3,000 water fixtures failed lead tests in Long Island schools. That was more than twice the number reported by the state health department.
It didn't line up.
And Newsday's environmental reporter Tracy Tullis found out why. She learned that after a school district repaired and retested a water fixture, the state updated its records, effectively removing any history of possible exposure.
Health advocates say that makes it awfully difficult if that data kind of gets erased, essentially. It makes it difficult to sort of keep track of that progress.
You have to do a little bit of sleuthing, but the answer should be there.
Joshua Kleinberg from the New York League of Conservation Voters says the most recent lead data should be available on an individual district's website. Important information because pediatricians say knowing about possible past lead exposure is key to preventing future problems.
You have neurologic effects, you have hematologic or blood effects, and, depends on the age of the child.
When pressed about the conflicting lead reports, the State Department of Health told Newsday it's working on changing the way it reports that data going forward to better reflect the results.
Next time they're going to have a different system so that that historical data is still accessible.
Newsday also reached out to districts across the island. Most did not want to comment or said remediation plans were implemented. In the most recent round of tests, 12 fixtures in the Island Park School District failed. Its superintendent said in a statement, "The district takes water quality and student and staff safety extremely seriously and acted promptly to ensure that all drinking water outlets available for use meet state standards." At the William Buck School, where Eileen Cowley's 2 granddaughters go, she says she isn't taking any chances.
They drink water from home. They bring water bottles, so they don't drink the school water.
In Valley Stream, Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.
Joining me now to talk more about this is Newsday's environmental reporter Tracy Tullis and Josh Kleinberg, Senior Vice President of the New York League of Conservation Voters. Thank you both for being with us. We appreciate it. Tracy, we want to start with you. You looked into the state data. Tell us what you found.
Well, we first looked at the state data, and then we went back to the original lab reports that every school district prepared after they'd done the testing of all their fixtures, and we found that the two didn't match. The numbers from the original testing reports were far higher than what was in the database when we looked at the numbers in the database, and that has to do with sort of an odd way that this reporting is done.
Right, so pretty significant differences in these reports. Josh, I want to get your thoughts on this. Explain the discrepancies here between these numbers.
Sure. Fundamental here is you can't manage what you can't measure. And that's what the data collection system is really intended to do. Give us an idea of what we're finding so we can take care of it. Parents also have a right to know. There's a disconnect between these two things that I just said because it's hard for parents to find this information on their school websites and almost impossible to find it on the State Department of Health website because of the discrepancy between what the initial testing reported to be and then what the final results were in terms of fixing the problem.
So Tracy, you found these discrepancies here. What is the health department saying about it?
I spoke to the health department and asked them what was going on, and they said they did recognize that there was a concern about the fact that those numbers aren't consistent, and they said in future rounds of testing, they're required to do this every 3 years, that in future rounds of testing they're going to do it a little differently so that that historical data is preserved in the state record keeping.
Gotcha. So Josh, Tracy mentioned this testing needs to be done every 3 years. What goes into that testing process, just so people know?
For sure. The school districts are given flexibility to collect the sample anytime over a 3-year period. It's important that the school districts follow the protocol set by the Department of Health. The way lead gets into drinking water is when it is sitting in a pipe or a fixture for long periods of time. And then the samples need to indicate whether or not there's some interaction between the fixture itself, whether it be corroding, and the water quality itself, for instance, the pH level being low and being acidic. It's an important thing to measure. And what's important that school districts do is collect these samples in the timely fashion, report it out to their Department of Health locally in a timely fashion, and most critically, put this information in a place where parents can find it at any time.
So Tracy, if lead is found in one of these schools, what are they doing to fix the problem?
If they find that a fixture doesn't meet the standard, then it has to immediately be shut off or put a sign on it, say you can't drink from it, and then they either have to fix that by replacing it, or maybe you can put a filter on it that removes lead, or else it can be just permanently left off.
By the way, schools can ask to be reimbursed for these new faucets, fountains, and plumbing work, and for replacing lead-removing water filters as well. My thanks to Tracy Tullis and Josh Kleinberg for joining in on this conversation. We appreciate it. You can read more about Tracy's story on our website, newsday.com. A contract dispute between Mount Sinai and Anthem Health may soon mean higher medical bills for some Long Islanders. Virginia Huey tells us how it could leave one family in limbo.
It's been a lot of years of being scared, being nervous, just one thing after the next.
Giselle Andrade of Port Jefferson Station has been fighting life-threatening illnesses since she was 6. She underwent a rare intestinal transplant in 2016 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan. After that, a brain tumor, mouth and foot surgery, and a recent diagnosis of kidney disease. Giselle's mother, Tanisha Andrade, said the team of specialists at Mount Sinai saved her daughter's life 3 times.
She needs Mount Sinai. That's her transplant team. They're going to be her doctors for life.
But a contract dispute between Mount Sinai Health Systems in Manhattan and Anthem, whose network the Andrade family uses, has cast doubt on whether Giselle will be able to continue receiving care from Mount Sinai.
We don't get a say. My daughter needs to see those doctors and the insurance is not paying. What do you do?
The contract fight is over money. Mount Sinai claims Anthem owes more than $450 million in unpaid claims for services already provided to patients.
We have to be assured that we could actually get paid the payment rates that we negotiate, and that has not really been the case in the past.
In a statement, Anthem told Newsday, quote, Mount Sinai's executives continue to seek price increases nearly 3 times the rate of inflation, as well as the removal of standard protections that prevent patients from being overcharged. Giselle is among the roughly 200,000 Mount Sinai patients that have Anthem coverage, now facing higher out-of-pocket costs or the need to find new doctors.
We're kind of stuck.
Under state law, hospitals must remain in-network for 60 days after a contract ends. If Mount Sinai and Anthem do not reach an agreement by March 1st, all Mount Sinai hospitals, including Mount Sinai, South Nassau, and Oceanside, would become out-of-network for Anthem patients.
We're hoping that we don't have to figure out what to do and, they figure it out. We pay for this. We pay for the insurance. We shouldn't have to worry about that on top of our daughter's health.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
You can read more about the contract dispute on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Are you looking for a place to eat tonight? Food writers Erica Marcus and Maria Elena Martinez dined at one of the spots on Newsday's 2026 list of best Italian restaurants. It's this week's Feed Me TV.
There are 1.6 million Italian restaurants on Long Island?
Maybe 1.8.
Okay. This is a tough list to come up with.
This is a tough list to come up with.
We're here at Orto in Miller Place, and we're going to talk about how we pick these restaurants. One of the problems that we constantly come up with is Italian versus Italian American.
When we say Italian American, we're talking about red sauce joints, chicken parm on the menu, versus some of our more regional spots.
That sort of is because the level of Italian American restaurants is so high on Long Island.
So what we've chosen are really restaurants that kind of rise above all of that and have varied menus, a lot more vegetables. Right. And this is a great dish to kind of segue there.
It's a freezing cold winter day, and this is a salad of fennel and mushrooms because that's what's in season. It's tart, it's savory, there's no dried cranberry, there's no balsamic vinegar.
Candied walnut.
No candied walnuts. It is a savory salad.
My favorite dish on this menu. A crispy egg, drippy center, over pork, polenta, bacon broth. It's just a transcendent dish.
So this is paccheri with a Genovese sauce. It's a really long-cooked beef and onion sauce.
And the sauce is not saucy.
There are very few Italian restaurants that only serve the food of one region. There are a few, but this is a really Neapolitan dish.
There are some other regionals on our list.
Right, well there's Via Cuma, which is pretty much all the food of Naples and the Campania region.
And then there's Gioia, which is Emilia-Romagna.
And then there's Salino, which is only Romagna. We've got eggplant parmesan and lasagna.
Italian-American classics.
Right, but they also exist in Italy.
The eggplant is just like my mom's.
Really?
Exact.
You are very lucky. This is braciole on polenta, but because this is America, we also have some vegetables here. This is fluke on a bed of cabbage with some clams.
Not quintessentially Italian.
Right, because Italians generally don't plate a dish like this. And you know, clams and cabbage is nice together.
I loved this dish when I had it last week.
For Newsday TV, I'm Erica Marcus.
Same time next week?
Yeah.
Hungry yet? You can see our list of best Italian restaurants on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy. Need to maintain or repair an old solar system? Trust Sun Nation Service to fix it like new.
We've got playoff action on the courts, and this year Baldwin's boys and girls basketball teams are looking to go far. Here's Newsday TV's Jonathan Rubin.
It's playoff time, and Baldwin basketball looks to dominate Nassau County once again. For the boys, they came into the season shorthanded. They lost Gabe Phillips and Dylan Cujo to ACL injuries. But instead of letting injuries derail their season, they embrace a next man up mentality, a philosophy Coach Darius Burton has been preaching all season long.
This team is incredible. One of the best defensive teams I've ever had in my 26 years. This team has the next man up mentality. We've been had a tremendous amount of injuries, but the team still believes that they can get it done, and so far they have.
The injuries, it definitely affected me, but I got to know all my younger teammates better. My mindset, if not now, then when? Because it's my senior year, so I got to play every game like it's my last.
Finishing the regular season with an 18-2 record, the Bruins have made the playoffs for 26 consecutive years, 14 conference titles, and after the win over Syosset, they're headed back to Farmingdale State for their 20th straight semifinals appearance.
I just want to win. I seen all the greats and all the people who done it before me. I just want to be in the same caliber as them.
The boys set the standard here at Baldwin, but for the girls, excellence is the expectation. They carved out an era of dominance that's become synonymous with championship expectations.
It's an all-year-round commitment. It starts with the families in Baldwin, in the community, and our coaching staff as well. You know, like anything in life, what you put in is what you get out, and we've been blessed with some great players over the years, and this year is no exception.
After graduating 6 seniors that went on to play college basketball, the Lady Bruins needed someone to step up and fill the leadership role. Alyssa Polonia answered the call. She took the younger players under her wing and has been someone the girls can rely on.
It was hard because, I was very close with them, but just knowing that what we went through last year, everything that it's taught me, just to apply that this year and just try to be a good leader for my teammates.
The reigning state champions say that the chemistry that they built over the course of the season has been the key to success.
We're really close on and off the court. A lot of the same people who are on the team now were on the team last year, so we still have that same bond. And I feel like this year especially, our upperclassmen got really close to our underclassmen, and that relationship to make us stronger.
For Newsday TV, I'm Jonathan Rubin.
You can see the entire episode of Sarah Sounds Off by clicking Get More below that Newsday TV video box. This week, Greg discusses the state wrestling championships as well. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see there. I'm Macy Egland. We've got more local news coming up.
Vision Zero is a global safety campaign aimed at ending fatal and serious crashes. Newsday investigates whether the strategy embraced by New York City and governments worldwide can work on Long Island. A vision for safety. Now available at newsday.com/dangerousroads.